Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet for giving me this wonderful chance to speak something about Srila Prabhupada, this material in the service of the Supreme Lord. So today we shall pick up from where we left. For the last several weeks, we've been seeing that Srila Prabhupada is very anxious for the Juhu project. In the meantime, he's taking a global tour also, but all the time his mind is reverting back to what is happening in Bombay. So before we continue further, let us chant the Mangalacharanam prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Tadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Once again, I extend a very warm welcome to all devotees for today's session of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrt. We have been watching how Srila Prabhupada's struggle for Bombay is ongoing. Let us recollect now what is the age of Srila Prabhupada. Anyone like to mention at this time when these pastimes are taking place? What is Srila Prabhupada's age?
76, Prabhuji.
Am I audible?
Around.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Somewhere around 76 years, Prabhuji.
He is 76, yes. So this is the age of 76. And Prabhupada has just another 5 years to go on this planet before he leaves. And at this part of his life, he is taking up so many responsibilities. So when is the right time for us to retire and say goodbye to everything? That's it. Now, the rest of the life is for myself. I have done enough for the world. Now it's time for me to relax and rest on my laurels. I have done good for so many people. Let me just enjoy that good feeling by retiring somewhere in peace, in comfort. 76, and Prabhupada is going strong, from strong to stronger to strongest, like that Prabhupada is going. So we last week we saw how Srila Prabhupada met Sumati Morarji at London airport, and he made her the head of a board of trustees consisting of mainly life members, big time donors and all that. And Prabhupada said, as a chairman of the trust, I hope that you will help us to complete this Juhu project. We have to fight so many battles, financial battles, political battles, social battles, legal battles, all these things. You should spearhead all these things and you should help us to complete this noble project. And Sumati Maharaji said, yes, 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 I will do. And then she went back to India. And then Prabhupada continued his work. Then from India, a message came from Giriraj saying, none of the people are actually helping us or cooperating with us. When we go to remind them, they are getting upset, saying, everything is proceeding normally. You don't keep on troubling us like this. Huh? Everything is happening the way it should. You don't understand the Indian systems, our government and everything. It works like this only. So people see devotees as a disturbance. Actually, devotees are only trying to help the world, is it not? Devotee has no personal desire because devotee, his only desire is to please Krishna, which is not considered a desire at all. Akama, sarva kamo va moksha kama. Moksha kama, the person who seeks liberation has a selfish desire. Moksha, he wants moksha. And sarva kama, a materialistic person, has unlimited desires in this material world, including he wants to go to heaven and enjoy for a long time. That's sarva kama. But devotee is called akama because he has no desire for himself. Devotee understands that I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And so my desire is to please the Lord. I want to serve the Lord and see him happy. So that's not a personal desire at all. So he's akama. Akama, no? We say Atmaram. Atmaram means he finds all the pleasure simply by seeing Krishna happy. He doesn't have any. So, but devotees are seen as a disturbance by others. They are busy making money, managing their businesses, having their personal worries about families and children, and they think they are all busy. And devotees are trying to serve the planet, make it a better place, safer place, more spiritual place. And people see them as a disturbance. Anyway, Giriraj Maharaj is writing that no one is cooperating. Mr. N, he is also saying, I am doing my best, nothing more can be done. And the advocate is also like that. And Sumati Maharaji also is like that. So nobody is active. We are not able to make any progress. And Prabhupada is also in anxiety. Prabhupada is sending a message. Get the sale deed done at any cost. At one point of time, Prabhupada wrote, finalize the price with him. Any best possible price you finalize. Prabhupada is giving full freedom. And take that property from. Get the registration done. At one point of time, Prabhupada will say, 14 lakhs is the settled price for the property. And we can pay it over installments. First 2 lakhs in 2 years and rest of the money over several years at the convenience of ISKCON. But the property will be registered the moment 2 lakhs are paid. So where is the registration? So Prabhupada is very anxious. And Giriraj again and again goes to meet Mr. N and he's receiving a very rough reception. So we remember the Charity Commissioner's office was a big stumbling block. So he said, Charity Commissioner says, your agreement is invalid because you should have taken my permission first. Every trust should take my permission first. Then only they can buy any property, even agreement. So this commissioner is in the pay of our Mr. N, very clearly. No? He's a very influential person. So they all listen to him. So this Mr. N has told the commissioner, and commissioner is now telling the same thing to Giriraj, saying we cannot. So, but all the devotees in Juhu, they are feeling totally flabbergasted. They feel, no, this is the end of it. The government itself is refusing. It's not a private man is refusing. Government itself is saying this agreement is not valid. You cannot proceed with it. I will not give you any permission. They don't know India. So they thought, but Prabhupada knew. And Prabhupada said, this man is only bluffing. He's only bluffing. He's just trying to cheat us from our money and he doesn't want to give the land. He has already cheated one company. Same intention he's having. So Prabhupada says, we'll keep pushing on, keep pushing on. Meantime, Prabhupada is in New Vrindavan. We know how Janmashtami celebrations took place, and Srila Prabhupada gave a series of classes on Bhagavata Dharma in New Vrindavan. So, meantime, Giriraj wants to resign. Prabhupada says, please don't resign. Let the agreement be completed, then we can think about resigning. But right now, our effort should be get the agreement signed, and as soon as agreement is signed, start construction. Whatever money we have, with it, you start construction. And Prabhupada tries to encourage Giriraj by saying, we are on strong ground. We are already occupying the land. We have already built a temple there. Regular worship is going on. Even if Mr. Yen wants to evict us, the government or the public will not allow them to do that, right? Because it's a running temple. And ISKCON has a certain reputation. We have so many powerful people as our life members who are our well-wishers. So Prabhupada is encouraged. Meantime, Prabhupada's appearance day, we saw how devotees are glorifying the sight of Prabhupada coming down from the pandal on top of a hill at the end of the class at dusk. The sun is set and the darkness is slowly enveloping, and everybody is carrying electric torches or fire torches, and everybody running down carrying Srila Prabhupada on a palanquin, surrounded by thousands of devotees, everybody doing kirtan, and Prabhupada is just floating down like that. And with so many thousands of people hitting the ground with their feet, so much dust is coming up. And in the background of the setting sun, it was so beautiful sight, and so many devotees are glorifying that experience as a completely spiritual experience. Then there was a grand feast. After the feast, Prabhupada returned to his simple, humble existence in a wooden house. So Shrutakirti, who was serving prasadam all these days in New Vrindavan, never got a chance to be with Srila Prabhupada, hear his lectures. And so he was feeling very frustrated and disappointed that now Prabhupada is going to leave, and they have not even had a proper darshan, leave alone the question of attending his wonderful classes. But then what happened? On the last day, Kirtanananda Swami, who is in charge of New Vrindavan, he approached Shrutakirti and he told, "You are the secretary of Srila Prabhupada now. So going forward, you will travel with Prabhupada wherever he goes in USA and Europe. You will travel with him." So suddenly, Shrutakirti did not know whether to be happy or unhappy, because chance to be with Srila Prabhupada, but unhappy in the sense afraid whether I can really be a good servant of Srila Prabhupada, whether I can please him. Like that he was thinking. So he is a good cook, no doubt, but Prabhupada says, does he know massaging? He says, I have never done massaging. Prabhupada said, no problem, you can learn. So that way he became Prabhupada's assistant. And then Srila Prabhupada, there were so many Sankirtan vans that had come to New Vrindavan. So Prabhupada went into one of those vans. If you all know, they are called Sankirtana vans. They have the deities of Gaurnitai, and they have the books of Srila Prabhupada, huge amounts of books. And in between, whatever space is there, the devotees will sleep. A van that can accommodate maybe 3 or 4 people, 7, 8 devotees will be there. They do their own cooking in the van only. They take bath and everything in the van, and the van becomes their house, and it is filled with books. And they keep traveling town, village, colleges, universities, and they try to distribute these books. So one of these vans, Srila Prabhupada went inside and saw all the arrangements inside. And they had an arti and they served Charanamrit to Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, we need hundreds of vans like this for our movement, so that books can be distributed very efficiently. And then Satsvarupadas Goswami visited Srila Prabhupada in his room, thinking everyone goes to see him and I am missing something, even though he's a sannyasi, Satsvarupa Goswami. Even though I am a sannyasi, I don't have any questions in my mind. So I don't have to necessarily go and disturb Srila Prabhupada. But everybody is going. If I don't go, that is also not nice. Maybe I'll be missing something. He thought like that. Okay, you can understand these feelings. And so he went to Srila Prabhupada. And when Prabhupada asked him, yes, what do you want? Satsvarupa Maharaj said, no, everybody is coming. So I also thought I should come. Otherwise, I'll be missing something. Then Srila Prabhupada said, how foolish you are. I have already told many times that everything I want to say is there in my books. Whatever questions you might have, you will find the answer in my books. That means you have to study my books scrutinizingly. That is your occupation for the rest of your life. I have given you the books. So why should you worry whether I am present in front of you or not? I am present in my books. So all your doubts will be answered. So you should not have had that doubt that if I don't go in front of Prabhupada, I'll be missing something. No. All the knowledge I have given. So one thing is having love for your spiritual master, having his darshan, and being eager to serve him physically, it's all fine. But not that you should have a doubt that maybe some things Prabhupada does not put it in his books, that information he's giving in his meetings. So Prabhupada said, no, nothing new. It's all the same. And then Srila Prabhupada asked Satsrup Maharaj, what are you doing? So Satsrup Maharaj said, Prabhupada, as a GBC, you have given me some area to be looked after. I am visiting all the temples in that area. I spend some time, give them guidance, participate in their programs. Like that, I encourage them. Srila Prabhupada said, there is one more sannyasi disciple. His name is Vishnu Jana. And what he is doing, he is traveling in buses to different towns and cities. And he is having Sankirtan, Nagar Sankirtan. And he is distributing the books. And he is taking classes in the town hall and other places. He is having meetings. So Prabhupada said, I think that is more important. That is more important. So Satsrup Maharaj said, maybe what I am doing is not good enough. So he asked, so Prabhupada, do you think that is more important than what I am doing? Prabhupada became upset. Prabhupada said, there is nothing more important or less important in the service of Krishna. Every service is important. But now I am asking you to do this. That this is required more. And Prabhupada said, in the case of Krishna, his head and foot are both important. You cannot say head of Krishna is important, foot of Krishna is not important. So like that, every service is important. Everything about Krishna is important. So visiting temples is important, and visiting towns and cities, holding Nagar Sankirtan, distributing books, that is also important. But right now, I am giving you this direction. For your sake, I want you to go. Right? So the Guru knows what the disciples' needs are at any time, what will help the disciple to grow, and accordingly, he gives directions. Next, Srila Prabhupada, and there is here one comment that Satsrup Maharaj is saying that Prabhupada was always absorbed in the mood of Bombay about the temple project, but same time, he was completely transcendental, beyond everything. So see, simultaneously, he is worried about Bombay. There is worry. At the same time, he is beyond the three modes. Beyond the three modes, there is nothing worries. No? There is nothing called worry when you have transcended the three modes of material nature. At that point, every emotion is a transformation of prema only. A person who is in the stage of prema, we call it Sthai Bhava. One who has established his original relationship with Krishna, constitutional relationship with Krishna. They are in the stage of prema. The only object for them is Krishna only. They are 24 hours conscious of Krishna, and they are engaged in Krishna's service 24 hours. They have no other desire because they are completely fulfilled by this relationship. If something completely fulfills us and keeps us satisfied, then we are not going to look here and there for some variety, you see. So here, Prabhupada is in that stage. He is getting complete joy from serving Krishna. So, on the one side, he appears to be worried for Bombay. On the other side, he is transcendental, fully depending on Krishna, always preaching. There is worries about Bombay, but in preaching, he is giving his full energy in preaching, full attention, full concentration. Even if there is an urgent work which requires taking up a lot of stress and tension, immediately after the work is done, he will return to his peaceful routine. He will smile at people, he will welcome guests, he will answer questions, he will give himself fully to the person in front of him. Just a moment ago, Prabhupada would have been very angry, very emotional, very agitated, but next moment, completely free. So these are symptoms of a transcendental personality. He's not experiencing the emotions of an ordinary, conditioned human being. So we should all remember what kind of a person we are dealing with. After all, Prabhupada is not doing anything for himself. He's doing it for us. In his mood of service to Krishna, he is serving us. So we are all children of Krishna, right? We are all children of Krishna. So Prabhupada wants to serve us. Prabhupada thinks he is our servant because we are all children of Krishna. So I have to serve the children of Krishna as his eternal servant. So the servant mood is present in every relationship with Krishna. Not only Dasya. You should not think only in Dasya Bhava there is servant mode. If you take Madhurya, the highest relationship, there also the mood of servant is there. If you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, the queens of Dwarka, when they go to Kurukshetra for the solar eclipse, Draupadi is interviewing them. How you are married to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How is your life there? How did you get married to him? Every one of them, starting from Rukmini and Satyabhama, Jambavati, Kalindi, everybody is telling, oh, we are his maid servants. We are his eternal maid servants. We are just serving him. We are just looking for an opportunity to serve him. That's all. So at the level of Madhurya also, see, if you read Bhagavatam, second canto, third canto, how the world evolved, how the universe evolved. So we hear first there was the sound, from transcendental to material sound. And from the sound, the sky came. The sense of touch came. The sky represents what?
Sound, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Sound. Yeah, from sound, the sky has come. From that, the sense of touch comes. Then air comes. Then from there, the form, the subtle form comes. And then there is fire. And then there is the subtle element of taste. And then water comes. So from subtle to gross, everything is coming. So in a similar way, the subtle is giving way to the gross manifestation of everything. So why I was saying this, I forgot. Anyone can?
Servitor mode in all bhava, Prabhuji.
Correct. Thank you so much. So when you say in the sky, there is only one aspect. But when you come to wind, two aspects are. And when you come to fire, three. And when you come to water, all four previous things are there. And when you come to earth, all five are present. What are they? The sound, the touch, the smell, the taste, and the form. All five are present in earth. Similar way, Madhurya includes the lower relationships of Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya. So as you go higher and higher, the lower principles are incorporated within them. So that is the thing that we see here. So the servitorship is always present. So Srila Prabhupada, as the eternal servant of the Supreme Lord, he is in the mood of serving his children. We are all his children. This generation, future generations, Prabhupada is completely absorbed in the mood of service. The next Srila Prabhupada visited Pittsburgh in USA. There was a huge public meeting. After the meeting, Srila Prabhupada met one Catholic bishop. Many Catholic priests used to meet Srila Prabhupada. In wherever Prabhupada went, they would come and meet him personally. And every time Srila Prabhupada will say, the 10 commandments, one of the commandments is that thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. But why do you kill cows in slaughterhouses? Thousands and lakhs of cows you are killing. One breaking the commandment. The bishop could not answer properly. Wherever Srila Prabhupada went, he never got satisfactory answers. For the sake of your tongue, why do you inflict pain on an innocent animal? And why do you violate the commandment of thou shalt not kill? You know what happened? Sometime back, the Christian Bible was amended. The 10 commandments they amended. They changed it. Instead of thou shalt not kill, because it's a translation. The original thing may be in Hebrew or some language, which is not current. And these are all translations. So instead of thou shalt not kill, they have changed it to thou shalt not murder. They want to make it very clear that only killing human beings is not allowed. But killing any other form of life is allowed. Now tell me, which God will say like that? For God, everything is his children. So why God will say, okay, you don't kill human beings, but you can kill any other animals? With necessity, without necessity, just for your fun, just for your taste, you can kill. Will God give a commandment like that? They only originally had it as thou shalt not kill. Who authorized this change? Thou shalt not kill was written 1500 years ago. The Bible was written 500 years ago after the death of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ never wrote any Bible. It was written by the followers, basically collecting various stories circulating in different parts. They put them all together, and the King James authorized the final version, authorized version of Bible that came 500 years after the death of Jesus. And that time it was all thou shalt not kill only. Now, barely maybe within the last 50 years or even less than that, they have amended. God gave 10 commandments to Moses. 10 commandments, Moses. And now they have amended the commandment. Who authorized amendment? So this is what is going on in the name of religion. If anything is inconvenient and people are finding it difficult, you amend the holy book. Just as we amend the constitution, right? We say, oh, constitution is sacred. Constitution should be protected at any cost. But constitution, after all, was written by human beings. There can be always scope for correction. No, no, no. The founding fathers who wrote constitution were perfect. They are like God only. They cannot make any mistakes. Now we should not amend the constitution. Whatever they wrote is final. But when it suits me, I will say, no, no, you amend this part of the constitution. If it doesn't suit me, I will not allow you to change. Similar way, they found Bible was becoming inconvenient, even to the priest. Even the priest wants to eat meat, no? So how he can, on the one side he's teaching Bible, it says thou shalt not kill. On the other side he's eating meat. Somebody may question him. So they thought it is too inconvenient. After all, it is a translation from some other language. We can modify it. So they made it, thou shalt not murder. So Prabhupada got no good answer to this question. So anyway, next is, you all remember in Dallas temple, Prabhupada wanted to install deities. Prabhupada wanted to install deities. Deities are ready, beautiful deities, and they were already pre-painted. You know, the deities came from Jaipur, pre-painted. One Mataji by name Janava, she thought this paint should be removed. I want to repaint for whatever reason. Nobody knows. She removed the paint. When Prabhupada came to know, he became very angry, furious, upset. And he called Satsvarupa, who is the writer of this book. He called him. Who asked you to remove the paint? He said, no, 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 you have never ordered me. But I have also not ordered. Even without my knowledge, this peeling of paint has been done. So Prabhupada said, who has done this? You call that Janava Mataji. She has done it without taking anybody's permission. So, so she came and so she was already very afraid that Srila Prabhupada is angry with her. So when she came, Srila Prabhupada yelled at her furiously. She began to cry. Why have you done this? Srila Prabhupada demanded. Nonsense was her choked reply. The Mataji, in between sobbing, she said, nonsense. Anybody understands this? Devotees? What do you understand? Yes? You heard me or you want to repeat?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Heard you, Prabhuji, but couldn't think of what, Prabhuji.
Mataji was crying and in between sobbing, she was saying nonsense. Answer to Srila Prabhupada's question. Why did you do this? She's saying nonsense. What does she mean by saying this?
Maybe she's the one who didn't remove it, Prabhuji. Is
No,
it-
no,
Yeah.
she only removed it. See, Prabhupada, when he is angry, some words will come very freely. Some of these words are like fools, rascals. Like that, Prabhupada would say, nonsense. So she is cursing herself. When Prabhupada is asking, why did you do this? She doesn't have a reply. So she's cursing herself, I am a nonsense, like that. Yeah? And Prabhupada replied like this. Prabhupada affirmed, nonsense, suicidal nonsense. You are a nonsense and you will always remain nonsense. So what are you going to do about this? This is Prabhupada's furious response. Now imagine if you are in that situation. Huh? How would you react to this? Just try to understand.
Totally broken.
This is the situation of all the devotees of Prabhupada who were closely working around him. Any time Prabhupada will shower a ton of bricks on their head. Prabhupada becomes so angry, so upset. Prabhupada is really upset that the deities have come for installation and someone has removed the paint without even telling him. And so Mataji is still crying. Then, so when Prabhupada said this, well, Srila Prabhupada, Janava replied weakly, I called up Bharadraj in Los Angeles and he said, if I use a certain kind of paint, so the moment she got the message that Prabhupada is angry for having removed the paint, she has contacted somebody in New York. And that person is probably a good painter or something. And she has taken his suggestions also. So when Prabhupada is asking what you are going to do about it, she immediately has actually an answer. She has a sensible answer. Because what has been done is done. And Prabhupada is only asking what you will do next. And she is giving the reply. Now you see how Prabhupada is responding. Prabhupada said, Bharadraj. Prabhupada replied. Prabhupada yelled, who is this Bharadraj? I am your spiritual master. And I am sitting before you. Why do you not ask me? If you recollect, this has happened many times before in the Lilamrt only. That Prabhupada would say, why you don't ask me? I am there right in front of you. Why do you ask somebody else? Okay. So this should be our mood, that we should always be dependent on our spiritual master, on our parampara, on our shastras. We should not be going left and right and looking for answers all over the place. So Prabhupada saying, and then Prabhupada became disgusted. He then turned to others in the room and asked them, so what is to be done about this? One of the ladies said that with a quick drying paint, they could repaint the deities just as before, in time for the installation. Yes, Prabhupada said, do it immediately. Okay, this is the background. Now, Janava Mataji, she starts working all night. And by morning, the job is complete. She has repainted the whole deity. And Satsarupa Goswami Maharaj went to see next morning, and Krishna looked very beautiful. Even though only in here and there, small places, the paint was yet to dry up completely, looking a little patchy. But other than that, he was perfect. And that day, morning walk, Srila Prabhupada was taking, and devotees were walking with him. And Prabhupada turned casually to Satsarup Maharaj and asked, how are the preparations going for the installation? And Satsarup Maharaj, very hesitatingly, he replied, only about the deities, I'm not sure whether they will be sufficiently dry. The moment he said that, Prabhupada stopped walking. And he said, if deities are not ready, then no point in my staying here. I will leave immediately. I will change my flight reservations. He called his secretary and said, now let us go. Make the bookings. And immediately Satsarup Maharaj begged Prabhupada, Prabhupada, forgive me, everything will be ready. On schedule, we will install the deities. Immediately Prabhupada's angry mood changed and he continued walking and talking about other matters. This matter is completely forgotten. Later on in his room, Prabhupada was talking to Satsarup Maharaj. This subject is slightly different. See, Srila Prabhupada is talking about materialistic people, right? Regarding materialistic people, Prabhupada is saying, with great disbelief, Prabhupada is shaking his head, saying, how these materialistic people are able to carry on their life? How they can forget that death is coming or rebirth is coming, next life is coming? And how are they able to live without thinking of these things completely? How foolish are these conditioned souls? Like that, with great disbelief, Prabhupada is telling. And Prabhupada says, they are thinking that just by having a big family and being absorbed in mundane activities, they do not have to worry about death or with next life. And Prabhupada was shaking his head in disbelief, thinking, incredible the way these materialistic people are living. And all Prabhupada's disciples are sitting there and they were struck with wonder, because we never think like that. No? We will only think, how are these devotees 24 hours that they are only thinking about God? They never think about their own food, their own comfort, where I will sleep, where I will get my medical insurance, where I will get my pension, how can I live comfortably? These devotees are not thinking about it at all. They are totally not conscious of this world. We will only think about them like this. But Prabhupada is wondering about materialistic people like this. There is actually one story in a book called Autobiography of a Yogi, written by Paramahamsa Yogananda. In that book, he writes, one Swamiji was there. His name was Master Mahashai. He was running a school. He was originally son of a big Jamindar, but he rejected everything. He became a Swamiji. His father told him, if you are going away, not even a penny of my wealth will come to you. He's a multi-billionaire father. But the Swamiji said, I don't care. You don't give me anything. So he rejected the whole wealth and he became a small school teacher in a school and living in utter poverty. But he used to have satsangs every evening. So many people used to come for his satsang. So one devotee at the end of the meeting asked a question to this master. He said, Master, how did you sacrifice so much wealth? So much wealth your father was giving it to you, and you rejected everything to come and live a life like this. How did you do? So this disciple was genuinely surprised. How anyone can give up so much wealth? And that master, what did he reply? He said, I have not sacrificed anything. You have sacrificed. You must only be appreciated how much sacrifice you all have done. Because I have given up a few rupa, ana, paisa, but I am getting eternal happiness of the spiritual world. I'll be eternally happy in the spiritual world. In this one lifetime, one small money I have given up. That's not a big thing. But you people, for the sake of a few rupees or a little material sense enjoyment, you are rejecting the whole spiritual, eternal life of Satchitananda. So he says, don't think I am a martyr. You are the martyr. So he turned the table. And is it not true? We have got a precious human form of life, and half of it is already gone. What is left is only old age, disease, and death. And still we are so much absorbed in material existence. So for a spiritual person, this looks really unbelievable. How people are so much absorbed in their material life, totally forgetting there is going to be a next life. There is going to be death, followed by rebirth, and I don't know where I will be born. Rather, I should make arrangements for my next birth. I should be born in a good family. At least, if this life was average, at least I should have an average life next time also. It should not become worse than this. But people are not worried at all. Only in this life, they are struggling hard, just to improve things a little bit for themselves. So, this is the perspective. So, perspective of a pure devotee is that we are all unnecessarily suffering here. But a materialistic person thinks all the yogis and Swamijis, they are unnecessarily subjecting themselves to so much of trouble. They are not enjoying what God has given. Actually, in some of the Western religions, they believe that this world is made for us to enjoy. There is the Bible doesn't say, but they interpret like this. They interpret that God created everything, and finally he created man also only to enjoy. So he should enjoy. So the association of the opposite sex, they say this is the highest pleasure that God has given. So if you don't enjoy it, you are actually offending God. God created all this for your enjoyment, but by saying, no, I don't want, you are actually offending God. This is some of the interpretations. Even though Jesus Christ himself never married, but they still think this world is made for our pleasure. So for such people, spiritual life becomes very difficult. If you are unable to free yourself from material attachments to sense gratification and accumulation of wealth, then it's very, very difficult for us to become spiritual. So this was the conversation. Then later in the day, Prabhupada was singing Griheshu Grihamedinam, that Prahlad Maharaj shlokas. That was in the Bhagavatam class, and Prabhupada was singing that. And then Prabhupada went to see the deity. And the deity was beautiful. And Prabhupada became very happy. Later in that morning only, the deities were installed. And Prabhupada wrote the name of the deities in a paper. And what is the name? Radha Kalachandji. And the translation is Black Moon. Kalachand means black moon that way. And then Prabhupada is now preparing to return to India to oversee the projects, mainly Vrindavan, Mayapur, Bombay, like that. And Prabhupada is going by the western route. In the meantime, he wrote many letters to Bombay, encouraging the devotees, do like this, do like that. Our case is very strong. Mr. Ian cannot do anything. Don't allow him to bluff you, like that. And Prabhupada said, Juhu project is our most important project in the whole world. Even if Mr. N wants 5 lakhs, give it. Or even if the full price he wants upfront, you give it, like that. And he said, start the construction immediately after the sale deed comes to your hands. And when Giriraj was saying that nobody is helping me and work is proceeding very slowly, Prabhupada sent 2 of his very powerful devotees who were in Vrindavan at that time. One was Bhavananda Swami, and another one, Tamal Krishna Maharaj. These 2 people, very, very powerful preachers. And he told them, leave Vrindavan and go to Bombay to help Giriraj. And Prabhupada warned them, never deviate from the agreement. Even if N gives any amount of pressure, don't give up the agreement. That is our strongest wicket, Prabhupada said. And in the meantime, ISKCON's attorney, the lawyer of ISKCON, Mr. D, resigned abruptly. And he did not even inform first. He was actually Mr. N's man. See, the enemy's man, he became the lawyer of ISKCON. Where is the hope? Our people only went and engaged this advocate without knowing that he is in the pay of this Mr. N. When this news came to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada became very upset that this lawyer is on the other side and he is informing so late that I will no longer work for ISKCON. So Prabhupada said, so Mr. N is such a wicked man. Right from the beginning, he had no intention that this property should go to ISKCON. Even if ISKCON will give whatever is agreed, still Mr. N will not give the property to ISKCON. His intention is only on cheating. So Prabhupada said, now it is going to be a real fight. Prabhupada is not going to give up. Only Prabhupada said, this is going to be a real fight between ISKCON and Mr. N. ISKCON means one old man of 76 years. All others are absolutely useless. They're all white people, young people, inexperienced people. They don't know the ways of India. They don't know the legal systems of India. They have absolutely no clue. And they are not interested in Juhu property also. At that time, we have already discussed all the qualities of the Juhu property. Overridden with overflowing sewage, rodents, snakes, antisocials, uncooperative people, politicians always creating problems on behalf of Mr. N, filled with mosquitoes. People are suffering alternatively jaundice, malaria, all kinds of diseases. The Westerners, they had no proper toilets. They had no proper bathrooms. They had no proper staying places. They were living in temporary sheds, camps, and tents. And the deities themselves were housed very poorly. But they had to take care of the deities nicely. They themselves don't have properly enough to eat. But Prabhupada always insists deity should receive top-class service. So the devotees were ready to give up this at any time. But only for Prabhupada, this was so important, he would not give. He would say, our position is very strong and we will fight it. So in the meantime, Prabhupada went to Berkeley and there he installed again Radha Krishna deities. You just see in the last 2-3 sessions only how many temples Prabhupada has opened in various parts of the world. Wherever Prabhupada is going, there is a temple and the deities are being installed. Like that. And then, so Prabhupada is collecting his best devotees all in Juhu, and Shyam Sundar Prabhu, he is right now in London. And what he is doing, George Harrison, the Beatles singer, who became a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, in secret. In the public, he is still acting like a hippie singer, but secretly, he is Prabhupada's disciple. He told Prabhupada, I want to shave my head also. I want to keep shika. I want to wear saffron robes. I want to move into the temple along with the devotees. I want to become a full-time devotee. Prabhupada said, no, don't do that. If you tell people to chant Hare Krishna, they will chant Hare Krishna. You are so famous world over. So please don't You are already a devotee. You are chanting. Continue to chant. But make other people chant through your songs. Write nice devotional songs and make them popular. Make people devotees by your method. Everyone should use whatever Aishwarya, opulence God has given in the service of Krishna. So you do that. So he had a property in London, outside London, that's called now Bhakti Vedanta Manor. This is one of the big properties of ISKCON today in the whole world, Bhakti Vedanta Manor. So they had to register that property. So, Prabhupada was telling Shyam Sundar, register that property, and then you also go to Juhu to fight Mr. Yan, right? So Prabhupada is collecting his army against Mr. Yan. And meantime, Prabhupada made a list of what are the strengths of ISKCON in fighting with Mr. Yan. And here is a list Prabhupada is writing. We have fulfilled all the conditions as a purchaser. Whatever condition was there in the agreement, we have fulfilled. Mr. Yan was purposefully delaying the registration with a motive to cheat us, as he has already cheated others. This is second point. Third point, but this time he cannot cheat us because we have taken possession. In earlier cases of cheating, they did not take possession. So it was very difficult to fight with him because he handled the government machinery in such a way that registration could not be done. But here, he thought these ISKCON people I will cheat anyway. So he allowed them to move into the land. And he allowed them to install the deities. He thought, no problem, I can handle everything. But, so Prabhupada says, our deities are there. Regular worship is going on. It's a proper temple now. And he cannot evict us. That's third point. Fourth point, so we must go immediately to the court. If we go to court, we will definitely win. So we have to go to the court to enforce him to execute the conveyance immediately. It's called a mandamus order. The court will give an order saying that you have already made an agreement. You have to execute it now because the other party has completed their job. So now you have to execute your job like that. So Prabhupada says you have to go to court like that. And then Prabhupada says another point. Even if the court case goes on for a long time, we have no problem because we are already occupying the land and our temple worship cannot stop. Devotees will continue to live, temple worship will continue. So we cannot be evicted. So if the case continues, it's a problem for Mr. Yen only. And then without going to court, we cannot make any compromise with him. This Prabhupada is very clear that Mr. Yen is a cheat. So no compromise. But Prabhupada says, again, Prabhupada is still having a hope. What is that hope? Mr. Yen had agreed that you can pay the amount in many installments at your convenience. Prabhupada says, let us pay the whole amount in one shot upfront if he is willing to give the sale deed immediately. Every entire amount he will pay upfront. But Prabhupada himself says, but he will not come around like this. So we have to only go to the court for breach of agreement and there will be no more compromise like that. Okay. So like that, this Bombay matter is proceeding. In the meantime, Srila Prabhupada went to Vrindavan. October 17, 1972, Prabhupada is in Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, Prabhupada is giving daily classes. You know where? Rupa Goswami Samadhi. You know Rupa Goswami Samadhi? Anyone? Where is it situated in Vrindavan?
At Radha Damodar temple, Prabhuji.
Correct. Rupa Goswami Bhajan Kutir and Rupa Goswami Samadhi both are in Radha Damodar temple compound. And that is a very, very important temple compound because Jiva Goswami lived there. The Radha Damodar deities themselves were installed by Jiva Goswami, his own worshipable deities. And all the Goswamis used to meet in this campus to discuss plans for the future. How to spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. 500 years ago, they used to be discussing that. They would come together for lunch and they would discuss that. And then more important than that, Srila Prabhupada, for more than a decade before he left to America, he lived in Radha Damodar temple, having 2 small rooms, cooking, eating, and translating Srimad Bhagavatam first canto only in those 2 rooms. And these 2 rooms are now come permanently to ISKCON, thanks to the Radha Damodar temple management. They said you can have the 2 rooms to yourselves. So from there, in front of Rupa Goswami Samadhi, now actually the temple has been modified quite a lot. The rooms of Prabhupada is still very much there, but the temple has undergone a lot of changes. If you had seen the temple 10 years ago, you cannot recognize it now. It has become so different. But it's all for good. They have done something nicely. But anyway, that original version is no longer. And Prabhupada gave classes on Nectar of Devotion. Who is the author of Nectar of Devotion?
Rupa Goswami Prabhuji.
Goswami.
So it is Rupa Goswami's book. It's a defining book of Rupa Goswami for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. How to perform bhakti. The entire details regarding bhakti is contained in Nectar of Devotion. He discusses the qualities of Krishna. He discusses the qualities of Srimati Radharani. He discusses the angas of bhakti. He talks about sadhana bhakti. He talks about raganuga bhakti. He talks about bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. He talks about the various bhavas, vibhava, anubhava, satvika bhava, sanchari bhava, all those things in great detail. How this prayojana called bhakti, this Krishna prema, is the highest. He explains it so beautifully in Bhakti Rasamrita. The whole thing is based on Srimad Bhagavatam only, but presented in such a scientific way that anybody can understand how the soul moving towards God in a mood of surrender, getting closer and closer to Him, experiences greater and greater degree of ecstasy. The soul, as it approaches God, develops the qualities of God. God is Satchitananda. The soul, as it moves towards God, also becomes gradually Satchitananda. It sheds all its material qualities, like when gold is put on fire, how all the impurities leave the gold, like that. As the devotee goes closer to Krishna, all the impurities are removed. And the devotee becomes as good as Krishna, but doesn't become Krishna. This is the secret of bhakti. Not that the devotee goes closer, 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 and then finally he becomes Krishna. Merges. No. Devotee will never merge with Krishna. For a devotee, it is worse than hell. Merging with Krishna for a devotee is worse than hell. A devotee always wants to be the servant of Krishna in various relationships, as we have already discussed, from Dasya to Sakya to Vatsalya to Madhurya. Devotee wants to serve Krishna in so many ways, but never wants to become Krishna. When you become Krishna, no more service to Krishna. There is no more looking at the beautiful face of Krishna. There is no more opportunity to look at his beautiful smile and trying to serve him in such a way to bring up a smile on his face, to get his glance, sidelong glances of his beautiful lotus-like eyes. These things are not possible. For a devotee, service is the highest goal of his existence. So that way, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu gives us a complete scientific explanation of the glories of bhakti. And Prabhupada is talking about it sitting on the Samadhi Mandir of Rupa Goswami, and it is happening in the month of Kartik. We all know Kartik month is very special. And Kartik month in Vrindavan, in Rupa Goswami Samadhi, very, very special, and talking about nectar of devotion. So it's perfect. So devotees of Srila Prabhupada, they have come from all over the world and they are enjoying Prabhupada's classes very much there. Right. And again, there were problems in Vrindavan. Subal Prabhu was in charge of the Vrindavan project, but he was very hesitant. He was saying, Prabhupada, I am not able to meditate on Krishna. I am not able to chant properly. I am all the time thinking how the contractors are cheating us, but this is not good for my bhakti. I want to go into seclusion and chant Krishna's names 24 hours. I want to go to the banks of Radha Kund. I want to sit on a tree and chant where I will not be disturbed. Prabhupada tried to convince him in so many ways, but Subal was not getting convinced. And then Prabhupada cited the case of Mr. Beecham. I think there's not time. I will skip it. There are so many little details. I will skip it now. And Prabhupada says, better we live our whole life and die to make one person Krishna conscious. So Prabhupada is saying, forget about your own Krishna consciousness. That I will go to Radha Kund, I will chant 24 hours Krishna's names, and I will somehow purify myself and go back to Krishna. Prabhupada says, no, this is not our mood. A Gaudiya Vaishnava devotee, he always thinks, if my whole life I live and die, only to make one person Krishna consciousness, that is better. So, We can give our whole life for one person if our aim is to make that person Krishna conscious. So this is our way everywhere. All these asuras, who are the asuras? Materialistic people. Asura means one who is not a sura. Sura means one who is dependent on Krishna. Asura means one who is not dependent on Krishna. And we have to save these people from destroying the world. If we don't do anything, these people will destroy the world. We are seeing it every day. How they are destroying the world. So Prabhupada says, this is our aim. And Srila Prabhupada was exactly following his spiritual master. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati also said, if anyone says, I will go to a secluded place and chant like Haridas Thakur, it's a cheating process. Pashandi Vaishnava, you are not a real Vaishnava. So like that. So devotional service, Prabhupada defines what is devotional service. Devotional service means practical work for Krishna. Devotional service means practically working for Krishna. Mopping, sweeping the floor, cooking for Krishna, dressing up Krishna, bathing Krishna, making nice ornaments for Krishna, preaching for Krishna, everything, practical service, that is only devotional service. So, and this is the simple positive way to control the senses. If you engage your senses in the service of Krishna, that is the best way to control your senses. By any other artificial method, you cannot control your senses. And that is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada talks about it. So as far as possible, Srila Prabhupada engaged each disciple according to his psychophysical nature. What is the mentality of a person and what kind of fitness does he have externally? Prabhupada will suitably give him a service so that they will be happy in doing their service. Not that Prabhupada will artificially force somebody to do a service for which they are not fit. He will always take into account their psychophysical nature. But everyone should work for Krishna. There is no compromise on that. Everyone should. Like even Satsarup Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada said, travel on the Sankirtan bus and preach like that. So Srila Prabhupada wanted a temple in Vrindavan. He wanted everyone to render service. And if you render service for the Vrindavan temple, you will become dear to Srila Prabhupada and to Krishna. So like that. So after this, Gurudas and Yamuna, one of the couples, if you remember in London, they made the London temple happen, the Soho Street temple. That couple, Gurudas and Yamuna, they told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, if you want, we will stay in Vrindavan. Such a difficult place, you know. The winter in Vrindavan is unbearable. Summer in Vrindavan, even more unbearable. That is how it is. But they offered and Prabhupada welcomed it. They moved to Vrindavan. So at the end of the Kartik month, so the whole Kartik month, Prabhupada was here, and after that, Prabhupada left. Most of the disciples left with Srila Prabhupada. And before that, the relationship between the devotees and Brajavasis was not very good. Mainly, Brajavasis were thinking, oh, all these are Western people. They are not really Krishna conscious people. They have broken many regulative principles and all that. But after seeing Prabhupada and after mixing with all these devotees for 1 month, considerable improvement happened in their attitude towards these people. And ISKCON projects were coming up all over the world. And how the money was coming? Only from sale of Srila Prabhupada's books. Only from sale of Prabhupada's books. But Prabhupada was very confident and he laid the concrete foundation for Vrindavan before he left. In Vrindavan, he laid the concrete foundation by mixing cement, clay, and things like that. And he laid that foundation. Now Srila Prabhupada has come to Bombay. This is November 25, 1972. From this, we will continue. There is one slide here that I will also take it up next week. Yeah. So with that, we come to the end of the session. If devotees have any questions or doubts to ask, please go ahead. And we'll continue. Next week is going to be very, very exciting. The clash with Mr. Yen is coming to a head. Of course, only a few pages are here in Satsrupa Goswami's book, but I will build you a temple. That is a biography of Giriraj Swami. That contains amazing, amazing details of this climax of what is happening to Juhu. That is there. So I will try to combine both, and I will try to make a presentation next week. Thank you very much. So devotees, your turn. Please speak. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask something, Prabhuji. Is it okay? Not related to
Yeah,
this.
please. Go ahead.
Thanks. Prabhuji, what is the role of a devotee who has surrendered himself, Prabhuji, when he faces a difficulty? So what he should do, Prabhuji? Should he really pray for that problem to solve, ardently to the Lord, or should he keep quiet and leave everything in the hands of Lord and do his as per the
Very good question.
instruction of his Guru Maharaj?
Yeah. That's a very good question. But first and foremost, before I answer the question, let me tell you that devotees are on a ladder, right? The devotional service itself is like a ladder. When we have Shraddha, we have just put our step on the first step. And the ladder has unlimited number of steps. And we are all trying to climb and go back. Our greatest strength is the mercy of Guru Maharaj, Vaishnavas, scriptures, and the Supreme Lord himself. Because we accept the Supreme Personality as a person, Supreme Truth as a person, we have the full help from Lord Sri Krishna. So, answers for this kind of question, they have many aspects, many dimensions. Depending on where a particular devotee is situated, accordingly the answers will differ. So, like for example, white color is there, black color is there. White and black, these are two colors. But you should not say if something is not white, it is only black. Or if something is not black, it is white. Because between black and white, there are so many shades of gray. Right? So many shades of gray are involved. So when we talk about a surrendered devotee, actually we are talking about a devotee who has become pure and transcendental. Devotee has absolutely no material contamination. Then only a person is said to be completely surrendered. A completely surrendered person is like Prabhupada. He has no personal motive in whatever work he does. Everything is doing for the pleasure of Krishna only. So for him, there is no adversity in life. Correct? Because there is no personal motive. He is only trying to serve Krishna. And while trying to serve Krishna, he is fully aware that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. And nothing happens without the permission of Krishna, including the obstacles to my service. Everything is happening by the will of Krishna. And Krishna is just watching how I am responding. Krishna is watching how this devotee is responding to this challenge, to this obstacle. Is he giving up? Is he complaining? Is he breaking up? Or is he proceeding without any disturbance? He is continuing his service. So that is how a pure devotee will work. So Tattenukampam Susami Kshamano is another example of a pure devotee. How he thinks, whatever obstacles come, he will think, no, I deserve much worse. Very interesting. As a devotee advances, devotee thinks he is less and less qualified. As a devotee becomes more and more qualified, he actually thinks that he is less and less qualified. So much so that when a devotee becomes fully qualified, he thinks, I am totally incompetent. I have no bhakti at all. A devotee who is filled with bhakti for Krishna, he thinks, I have no bhakti at all. For example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to say, I have no love for Krishna. Why? He will answer that also. Because if I really had any love for Krishna, then in the absence of Krishna, I would have died long ago. How can I live without Krishna if I really loved him? How am I even living? And just because I am alive, that shows I have no love for Krishna. So this is what happens. And that is why one of the qualities of Krishna is humility. The highest humility is Krishna. So if you say devotees are humble, that quality actually comes from Krishna. It's a transcendental quality that they become humble. So it is all right for us to try and understand the gold standard, how a pure Vaishnava acts, how a pure devotee will act. And we should aspire that someday I should become like that. And we should pray constantly to Krishna. Please help me to become your pure devotee. All these qualities will automatically come. once I become a pure devotee. Krishna, please help me to surrender to you. So apart from that, we should not become very disturbed if we are not able to be of that mood as yet. We know the goal and we keep traveling towards the goal. We always remember that material attachments are useless. Someday I have to give up all material attachments and transfer my attachment entirely to Krishna. This consciousness we should keep. And you see in Bhagavatam, the examples of so many pure devotees. You see in the life of Srila Prabhupada or Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how a pure devotee works. So we meditate on those qualities, we meditate on their lives, and we pray. Beyond that, we don't have to worry so much. When a problem comes, how a devotee will act. We see from the life of Krishna. Did I answer your question, Mataji, or is there something more specific that you want?
Yes, Prabhuji. Like, Prabhuji, what should we ask, Prabhuji? Sometimes they say, like, whatever you want, you should ask the Lord.
Yeah.
So, in that dilemma I have, Prabhuji, like, what should we really ask? Because Krishna is our well-wisher. However, he
Yes.
gives us the best things.
Yes.
So sometimes I feel, Prabhuji, I should have asked, oh, am I doing the wrong thing? Am I keeping quiet? So these kind of thoughts comes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. So that is why I'm
Mataji,
asking.
that means, see, don't become a split personality. Your nature is dictating something, but you are trying to be artificially something else. Don't do that. Actually, Krishna is very happy if you pray to him for anything material. Even though Krishna may think, oh, this fool, this dear fool of mine is so much attached to material things. So Krishna will simultaneously fulfill your desire, and at the same time, he will purify your heart so that you will not have the desire again and again. He will give you the knowledge that how foolishly I was asking for these material benefits. But at the same time, you have a desire for something and you don't ask Krishna, then what you will do about it? A desire has taken strong root in your heart and you are not able to remove it from your heart. It is constantly troubling you. So why it should happen like that? You can simply surrender to Krishna. Actually, when Srila Prabhupada was very ill, Prabhupada was asked by his devotees, Prabhupada, should we pray that you should become well? Then Prabhupada taught them a prayer. What is the prayer? Oh Lord Nrsimhadev, if you wish, make our spiritual master healthy again, because he has so much more services left in this world. So if it is your desire, please. Same way, if you read Prahlad Maharaj prayers, as he starts the prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev, first thing he will say, oh Lord Nrsimhadev, if you so desire, please give me these boons. That is, I should always have the association of pure devotees. I should be always in your service in association of devotees. And please forgive my father, who was such an envious person towards you. Like that. So, if you so desire, you can always add it. Oh Krishna, if that is your desire, then please fulfill this wish I am having. I know I should not have any material desires, but this desire has taken strong hold on my heart. I know it is foolish of me. You know what is best for me. You are my eternal father and mother. You are my eternal well-wisher. You know always what is best, but still this desire has taken hold in my heart. Please help me. You can always pray. And praying is better. See, how can you hide a desire from Krishna? Tell me. If you think you can hide a desire from Krishna, then you are mistaken. He is sitting right there in your heart as Paramatma. And he knows that there is a desire. You cannot act, no, Krishna, I am a pure devotee, I have no desire. While at the same time, you have desire in your heart. So please go ahead and pray. Artha, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani, all of them are Krishna's devotees. He says they are all, what does he call them? He calls them Mahatma, broad-minded people.
Sukritina.
Sukritina. They are Sukritina. They have lot of good fortune because they are not going to some big man or a politician for help. They are coming to me. They know I am their father, mother, eternal well-wisher. I am supremely powerful God. They are coming to me. So Krishna becomes actually happy when you go back to him. Yeah. Is it okay, Madhi? Does it answer
Yes,
your question?
Prabhuji. When we ask some favors from the Lord, He will bless Prabhuji surely. But
Yeah.
that will somehow entangle us in this material world. So that
No,
is
no, no,
also
no,
the
no.
negative.
It will not happen like that. See, please understand. These desires are anarthas. These desires are anarthas. Don't you know it or you don't know? Tell me. You know
Yes,
it or
Prabhuji.
not?
I have present.
That's all. You know it, na? Krishna is happy that this devotee knows that it is an anartha. But still, because of vasanas, this desire has become very strong. And this devotee is finding it difficult to come out of the desire. This devotee is doing bhakti, but this purification has not yet happened. So Krishna will act in your best interest. He may fulfill, he may not fulfill, but he will act in your best interest. And whatever he does, he will pull you closer to him. But let us not live an artificial life, denying what is going on in our own heart. We have not all become pure, but we know that devotion is the greatest thing. Surrender to Krishna is the greatest thing. And we all want to do that. On the path, some of the anarthas are troubling us. We only go back to Krishna and say, Krishna, if you are willing, please allow this to happen in my life. That is quite okay. Even as you are trying to become a pure devotee, fully surrendered to Krishna, if on the way you encounter such desires, you tell Krishna, Krishna, I am a fool because I should not have these desires. I should have only desire to serve you. But if you are willing, let this happen. And Krishna will act in such a way that eventually your heart will not harbor such desires. That will destroy your spiritual. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo